Hi everyone, I'm Lenny Clifford with Benny Fairbank, the CEO and co-founder of RedFOX Labs. Welcome everyone to the weekly AMA. If you're a new member, it's good to have you on board. Enjoy the ride. And Benny mate, good to see you. The weeks just fly by. As you can see, it's all coming together and there's a lot to be excited about, right?
Absolutely. We get a bit of a 3 or 4 month preview as to what's coming up. So we've been finding it hard to sleep for some period of time, and I think it's going to get the same way for everybody else very shortly as well.
Yeah, sure. So finding it hard to sleep, what's keeping you awake at night at the moment?
I think basically because it is coming together, and behind the scenes, obviously we're a bit further progressed. So I think it's a matter of you build amazing stuff with amazing concepts to try and attract amazing partners. And then I think that now that all the partners are coming, then it puts the focus and shift back onto making sure the product is amazing enough for all of those people that you're bringing on board. So for me, the things that keep me awake are the excitement of building, but also the nervousness of making sure that this build is going to be as amazing as we want it to be. And we understand that it's iteration by iteration, but ultimately it's the combination of who's coming on and what we've got to do for them.
Yeah, sure. And looking at the partnerships that are coming in, yeah, there's magic being created. I can see that. And to recap, there's been the recent YGG, there's been Dr. Scott Bolton, there's the Void Cyber partnership that turns partnerships into partnerships, and the most recent is ICON, and that's joining the RFOX VALT Metaverse in the Calanova quarter. Now ICON's technology interconnects blockchain networks and settles their data on a single layer, which achieves interoperability. So looking at that technical side of things, what does that partnership mean for RedFOX Labs, the ecosystem, and investors?
Yeah, so the two communities come together, which is fantastic. It gives us exposure into different markets. It gives them exposure into different parts of this region as well. But also, it's the combination of two projects that are trying to be interoperable. And I think that there's a lot of maximalism in the space, and that's fine. But ultimately, we've set out from day one to be agnostic and to try and work with as many chains and partners as we can. And we're at that stage of our growth where if we're starting to get these products ready to drop, we need to be able to work with people who can help us expand our network as fast as we possibly can across as many chains as we can. So I think that we haven't even scratched the tip of the iceberg as far as the depth that this thing can go. All we've talked about is ICON coming into the metaverse, but there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we're talking to them about now. Lots of people are guessing a lot of stuff, but that's the thing. The thing is the magnitude of the types of partners that we're bringing on now, they have to be spaced out a little bit because there's a lot to them, and these partners deserve full attention and our ability to be able to sort of explain to those investors and partners what it actually means. Now, from an investor perspective, very soon we're going to have exposure to a lot of new stuff. All I'll say is that it's a very good move for the token holders.
Okay, great to hear. And just looking at the technical side again, the technical boundaries, how is RedFOX Labs and ICON going to push those technical boundaries?
Yeah, I think that some of the interoperability stuff, people think it's a lot further progressed than it is, but just being able to have your chain coexist on multiple chains at one time, dealing with which of your tokens that you use, what they can unlock, what they can be used for. There's a lot of issues, and there's a lot of infrastructure that has been built early that's probably not quite suitable for the type of scaling that people like ourselves and ICON want to do. So it's really important to develop our own products offerings and highways, so to speak. So I think that the technical side of things, we need to get to as many places as we possibly can, as fast as we can, and you need to hide all of the technical underneath from the end user. So you've got to make the UI and the UX as user-friendly as possible and not complicate things. And there's a lot of challenges still there that people sort of, I think, on the outside expect or think have been solved due to creative marketing campaigns used by a lot of people out there trying to make it sound a lot more simple than it is.
Okay, and ICON has a large community. They're based in South Korea, so this partnership would strengthen RedFOX Labs and its reach into new markets in the northern parts of the region. And from the investment perspective, RedFOX Labs provides diversification into Asian economies and the developing metaverse economies for that matter. So as the macro environment gets pretty dicey, do you expect a lot of investors to be looking at these niche areas to put their money in? Is there an increase in investors and VC coming to you now?
Yeah, we actually have turned down a number of equity-based investments, and we're not really actively seeking or looking to take on equity investments. We're in a good position, and we're able to build out what we want to build out. So we're very much focused on delivering these products and services. But as you stated, it's useless for us to assume, even though we're Southeast Asian focused and based here, it's resistance is useless. The thing is, we have a lot of interest coming from North America, Europe, the rest of Greater Asia. The products that we have and the services that we have, it's inevitable that we will be global. So our focus will still be on these emerging markets and on digital inclusion, but ultimately we offer borderless digital solutions and products, and this is getting beyond our little area of focus faster than we can actually imagine. So this is going to, I think, the next couple of weeks when people see who we bring on next, you're going to realise that the focus is very much global.
Okay, all right, you heard it, people. Resistance is useless. Now, back to ICON. It intends to have its community meetings in the Vault Metaverse, and that would immediately bring a lot of users into the space. So they have about 150,000 Twitter followers. So I can imagine that a decent chunk will be interested in getting into the Vault Metaverse and catching up with the community there. So what else do you expect to develop from there?
Yeah, there's lots of different product offerings. Both sides have products that are definitely parallel to what each other is building. So I think that the opportunity for expansion, and they're obviously a pretty entrenched player in the DeFi space as well. So there's a lot of things that you can put two and two together that would be of obvious, pique our attention especially. But I think that besides that, coming across and offering a different medium for ICON to be able to talk to their client base and to each other just opens up a lot of possibilities for them as well. So as well as them having a lot of stuff unlocked for them, we have a lot of stuff unlocked for us as well. So it's very much a mutually beneficial relationship for sure.
Okay, and now looking at the Vault build, there's a big team of developers and engineers and many more building this. So yesterday I had to play around in the latest version and helped to do a bit of testing, and it's pretty epic from what I can see. I really got a feel for what it takes to create and all the detail needed for all of those elements. So could you describe the process of designing the Vault?
Yeah, I'd probably butcher it and do it no justice, but ultimately, building in VR from scratch is obviously a little bit of it's more difficult. See, generally people do that at a later stage, but we've done it from the beginning. And the thing is that I learn stuff every day, but hearing that sometimes they sit down and they design a table in the middle of a room, and if they're a millimeter out or whatever, once it gets into VR, you go there and your table's 5 meters out of whack. And getting the dimensions and the modeling right is very, very difficult. We've got lots of videos where it shows you the modeling and the fly-throughs and how it all comes together, and it's just mind-blowing. It's like quite an involved process of starting with the design concept, the drawings, the fleshing of it out, then building the 3D models, and then being able to fly around those 3D models and have a look at how they all fit, how they're spaced apart, and then whacking on an Oculus and going through in VR is completely different again. It's a surreal experience. And as you said, the latest version of the APK that we can walk through is quite mind-blowing to think about where we've come from our first walkthrough videos on VR to now. And then the gaming quarter is just looking absolutely phenomenal. I think people are going to definitely see that that's from a visual perspective. It's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of level up.
Yeah, can't wait to see some of those designs. I'm sure they'll be coming soon. So now on to the Mint Lab. So what's the latest progress there, and what are you expecting from that? How's that going to develop over the coming weeks or months?
Yeah, so I think we had 37 projects reach out last week asking to be included into the Mint Lab. So lots of people are seeing that there's a potential value for that. And I think coupled with the game pre-reg already started and going live publicly before the end of this month means that, more and more people are saying, hang on, traffic's going to come in, players, volume's going to be there. So more and more people want to become involved. So we're sort of having detailed talks with who would be next. There's a few people that want us to sort of go now and partner now and help them build stuff as well. But it's a capacity issue and making sure that we've got the ability to be able to cover all of that type of stuff. So again, getting into the habit of saying no more than yes, but very flattered to think that the level of some of these projects is they're household names in the NFT market. So very, very excited to work out who it's going to be next. I think we've got a very, very firm idea of who it's going to be next, and very excited to do something with them.
Okay, who's it going to be next?
I can't say, but it's I think it's a relatively well-known and solid project.
Okay, cool. So a question, Gary V, he thinks that an NFT winter will come. So what are your thoughts on that? And have we seen an NFT summer yet?
I think, I don't know how long ago he said that, but I think we've been in an NFT winter for the last, month and a half or 2 months. It's pulled back 70%, 80%, a lot of these NFTs. So if that's not a winter, I don't know what is. I'd be scared to see what his winter is. But I think, if you have a look at some of the top NFT collections over the last 24 to 36 hours, they've started to pick up volume and traction, and the floors have lifted from a lot of those. Some of them have gone from half an ETH to an ETH. Others have gone from 0.8 back to 1.7, 1.8 ETH. So the floors are lifting on the really good ones. The good ones are moving. Whether that's a beginning of a continual trend, I don't know. But the fact is, it's definitely happening. I think Post Malone yesterday bought an ape for 75. Jimmy Fallon bought one half a week ago or so, and now they're going on the front of Rolling Stones magazine. I think it's starting, and there's a few conglomerates or groups out there buying on behalf of celebrities, and that's happening as we're speaking. So I think smart money's coming in and collecting now. So if it does go through a winter, I'd be relatively surprised. If we do go into this alt run in December, then NFTs are going with it for sure, I would think.
Okay, sure. Yeah, it's certainly developing. I remember speaking about it earlier this year, where an NFT may go for a measly 10 million, and now people's selling his human one artwork for, I think it was 28 or 29 million dollars. So it's crazy, right?
I think that with those NFTs, I think what you'll find is that there's too many coming out. So I think the blue chips and then select new ones will do really, really well, and I think a lot of the new ones will fail. It's just the same process. Follow the ICO process, follow the IDO process, follow the IEO process. It's all the exact same thing, recycled and regurgitated. There's no new pathways in the patterns of these things. It's pretty simple. It's old ones, dormant ones pick up, and they're old school, and the OGs do well, and the really super good ones for the new ones do well, and then others will take a long time to build, and most of it's rubbish.
Yeah, that's well, easy for an OG like you to say, but for the people coming into the market, is a big learning curve there. So Benny, to finish up, what's coming up in the week ahead for the RedFOX Labs ecosystem?
So we've still got three big, huge announcements before the end of the month. Obviously, one of those is in relation to the game launching, of course, and then we've got other partners that we're bringing on, which are bigger and bigger every time. So there's still lots to go before the end of this month. I mean, we're ramping up for a pretty solid December for sure. So we've also got the comms coming out, the new website, the new roadmaps, everything. We decided, even though that's all been finished, bar the website, all the comms, messaging and everything's been finished for some period of time. We want to do it all as part of the rebrand at the end of this month.
Okay, great. And just before we finish, a question for the community. We'd love to hear what feature you'd like to see most in the Vault Metaverse. So leave us a comment below, and we might discuss the best ones next week. And Benny, just before we finish, last words from you.
Yeah, just thank you very much for your patience. Welcome to all the new people for coming into this ecosystem. We're working very hard to make sure that it's easier for you to explain it to other people that you want to also share the news about RFOX too. So within 2 weeks, we'll have the new websites, new messaging and everything up. So we're working very, very hard to clear the comms. That's the last piece in this puzzle.
Yep, and looking forward to seeing the Fox running.
Me too.
We'll leave it at that. Cheers, Benny. Catch you later.
Thanks, guys. Have a good week.